Good morning, dear students. Now, in the last video, I have already explained what is endocytosis. To engulf the food, to swallow the food, whole food to take in the body without breaking it up, without chewing it up, that is to engulf, to swallow. And that process is endocytosis, which is seen in unicellular organism, amoeba. Here is the diagrammatic representation of endocytosis in amoeba. This is amoeba, an unicellular organism, only one cell, so there is no fixed shape, no fixed size. It has irregular shape. This is the nucleus within it and not well developed, and it will do all the function of the body. Now this amoeba is seeing this food particle. Here is the food particle which is seen by the amoeba. So what amoeba will do? It wants this food to swallow in its body, to engulf in its body. So it will make the projection of the body, this body part which is near the food. Amoeba has tendency to extend this projection of body. This part of the body it will extend like a projection, and it will project over this food and will try to cover the food. You see, this two part has projected out like this, right? So it will try to cover this food. So this extended projected part of the body, they are called pseudopodia. Pseudopodia, that means false leg. They are not the real legs, but here they help as a leg, so they are called false leg, which is the Latin word pseudopodia. Now this projection will join here, and you can see here the food is taken into the amoeba body, which is covered or which is in a bag-like structure, which is called food vacuole. Vacuole is a bag-like structure in which the food is stored. And this process of engulfing, see, the food is not broken into part. It is completely taken, the whole food inside the body, and that is the process called endocytosis. Now, how, as I have explained that in plasma membrane or a cell membrane, they are selectively permeable because they have very tiny pores on their surface which allow the entry and exit of some small molecules of water, gases, or some ions. How this takes place? Let us see here. Movement of substances through plasma membrane. The plasma membrane or a cell membrane is the selectively permeable membrane. Selectively permeable. As per the selection, it will permit to enter and to bring out the things in the cell, out the cell. So it is selectively. And so it plays an important role to regulate the entry and exit of some substances in and out of the cell. That means the permeable membrane is playing the very important role for the entry and exit. Everything will not be entered into the cell until and unless plasma membrane will not permeate, then the thing will not enter. So whatever substances are required, are essential for the cell, those substances are allowed to enter the cell, and whatever are unwanted in the cell or which is excessive in the cell are thrown out from the cell. This is done by plasma membrane. For this entry and exit, for this movement of the substances in plasma membrane, the following mechanisms are involved. There are certain methods which we say some proper process mechanism for the entry and exit into the cell, and they are basically three types: passive transport, active transport, and bulk transport. Passive transport, which doesn't need some extra energy. Active transport is active in presence of some external energy. Bulk transport is not for a few molecules, it is for a very large amount of molecules. So active transport and bulk transport we are not going to study in 9th standard, that you will learn in higher classes. Here we will see about passive transport. The passive transport occurs in again two ways. One is diffusion and one is osmosis. My dear students, in first chapter, Matter in Our Surrounding, we have learned what is diffusion. The intermixing of two substances on its own without some external effect, without some external force, without some external energy, external factors. When they intermix themselves, they are called diffusion. They are undergoing diffusion process. One of the example, even I have explained during the chapter first, that if you take a clean water in a glass made up of glass, and if you add a drop of blue or a red ink in it, and you are not stirring, you will just keep aside that glass, and after a while, if you will observe, you will see that from top to bottom, throughout, the water will appear reddish in color. How this happened? The molecules of ink has evenly spread out into the space available into the liquid water, because liquid is a state of matter which has little space in between each molecules, and thus without any external factor, external force, external energy, the red ink or a blue ink evenly spreads out into the water. So, this type of intermixing by its own is called diffusion. Right? So, one of the process of passive transport is diffusion and one is the osmosis. Osmosis is also a process like diffusion where the passage of substance from cell to environment and environment to cell takes place. Most probably in diffusion, gases diffusion takes place because gases are highly diffusing matter, and in osmosis, water molecule takes place to enter and to come out of the cell. Now let us see about the diffusion. The process of movement of substances, whether in solid, liquid or gas, from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Higher concentration it means जहाँ पर ज़्यादा होता है, वहाँ से जहाँ कम होता है, वहाँ आता है. That is called higher concentration to lower concentration. And spread uniformly. Uniformly मतलब पूरे region में. As just now I explained about the water in a glass from top to bottom. Right? So spread uniformly. मतलब जितना भी container है, जितना भी area है, उसी हर एक कोने में, everywhere, that is called uniformly, in the given space is called diffusion. The process of movement of substance from higher concentration to lower concentration to spread uniformly is called diffusion. Now, how the diffusion of gases in cell take place? First of all, why diffusion is necessary? See, we all know that when we respire oxygen. Oxygenated blood is very, very important for our circulatory system because it carries the nutrients from the food and take it to each and every part of our body, which gives in turn to us the essential nutrition for functioning of our body. And the carbon dioxide within our body, that means the use of oxygen. Now whatever we have respire oxygen, that oxygen will mix with the blood and start functioning of our body. So it will be used up, and now the blood will become rich in carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide gas in our body is not good for our body. That means that carbon dioxide should be thrown out of the cell, that means from the organ of our body. And this is the reason, that means to take in oxygen in our cell, to take out carbon dioxide from our cell, some process is necessary, because it is not done by ourselves. We are not able to go inside our body and bring out the carbon dioxide, or we are not able to go inside our body and whatever the oxygen we have respired, we will collect it and we will start giving it to each organ internal of our body. It's not possible by ourselves. And so such process, that is diffusion, which occurs by their own, is one of the mechanism of our body. So diffusion of gas in cell takes place as shown over here. The cell membrane or the plasma membrane allows entry and exit of gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen. Carbon dioxide is a cellular waste, right? As I told, it is not important for our body. So it is considered as waste of the cell. That accumulates that means which is collected at some place, which is accumulated in the cell, collected in the cell. Why? Because of the metabolic activities. The body activities by different organs and organ system in our body is called metabolic activities. Digestion process, circulation process, reproduction process, right? So many processes, excretory system, so excretion process, nervous system, right? So all these activities takes place in our body, and due to that the CO2, that means oxygen, gets used up, and in turn cellular waste of the cell, that is carbon dioxide, gets collected into the cell, which is to be removed out of the cell. That means from higher concentration inside the cell, it has to bring to the lower concentration outside the cell. When carbon dioxide level increases in the body, it is called higher concentration inside the cell, and outside the body, in the oxygen rich atmosphere, the amount of carbon dioxide is less, so it is lower concentration outside the cell. In the same way, oxygen enters cell from external environment. Oxygen is rich in atmosphere, so it is higher concentration, and it will go to the lower concentration, that means inside the cell, whatever the oxygen was there by respiratory system or by the inhalation process, it is now used up in the metabolic activities, and in turn carbon dioxide is produced. So inside the cell, now the level of oxygen is less. It means it is lower concentration inside the cell, and outside atmosphere is rich in oxygen. So from outside environment, it enters to the cell. That means higher concentration outside to lower concentration in the cell. And thus diffusion is very, very important, that is vital for gaseous exchange within the living cell. Right? Here see a diagrammatic presentation of amoeba, one of the organism. This is an amoeba, an irregular shaped unicellular organism. Now what happened? Here more oxygen is there in environment. So definitely higher concentration will move towards lower concentration. So diffusion in cell will take place. But why lower concentration inside? Because used in respiration. What is used in respiration? Oxygen. There is loss of oxygen, or we can say less oxygen is there in the body because it is used up in respiration process. And as oxygen is used up, increase in carbon dioxide has taken place. So more carbon dioxide is present in the body. So concentration of carbon dioxide is more in the body, which will try to move out to the low concentration and will try to diffuse out. That is because less CO2 is out of the